If I had to think of the most common issue owners have with their dogs, is leash walking. Today we're going to go over ways that you can make that a heck of a lot easier immediately. Now I'd have to say the biggest mistake people make, it's the setting, it's where you're at. That's the part that's messed up, that's the part that doesn't work. Easily, the biggest mistake with the setting is walking the dog down a funnel. Now, what do I mean by a funnel? What I mean by a funnel is that the dog can only inherently move in one direction. Likely that dog is moving in that direction at a rate that we don't want it to. It's moving faster than we're moving, right? It's causing tension on the leash. It's pulling super hard. Now that funnel could be an alleyway like this, right? It's pretty obvious. We're closed off to the left, we're closed off to the right, and the dog sees the end of it and wants to get to it as fast as possible. A lot of my clever viewers are thinking, Tim, I'm not walking my dog in an alleyway. I'm not walking him next to some storage units. I'm walking him down my street and he's pulling. With that said, what does this roadway look like? We are blocked off to the left. We are blocked off to the right. Unless I'm mistaken, it looks pretty similar to that alleyway. It looks pretty similar to the storage unit. Going back to a point that I've made a few times is we need to have a training area. We need to have an area that's solely for teaching the dog new things, right? It gets us in the mood and it gets us in the mode that we are working on something, but the same thing transfers to the dog. The dog understands the exact same process. We are here to learn. We are here to build new skills, get better at things that might be lacking. Now, I can't stress enough that that doesn't mean you need acres of property. We are literally behind the storage units in an open area. Now, the reason we're doing that is so that Mako here can't guess where we're gonna go. All we are doing is picking a direction and then rapidly changing it and getting the dog to follow along. Every time I'm changing direction, at the moment I turn, I'm using my leash hand to let the dog know which way I'm going. Quick little tugs every time I change direction. At the exact moment, I move my feet. In a perfect world, we want Mako to perceive this like a tap on the shoulder. Nothing too abrasive, just enough to get him to move in that direction. Now that'll change depending on what dog it is that we're working, right? Like depending on how severe the issue is. Those are questions to ask us or ask your local trainer. Now, for those of you that have worked with me before, you'll be very familiar with the Pac-Man example. By that, and for those of you that haven't worked with me personally, I mean, Pac-Man only moves in 4 different ways, right? He moves forward, he moves back, he moves left, and he moves right. And he does those movements pretty quickly and with no warning. I like that unpredictability because it makes the dog pay attention to us rather than where they are going. They never know when we're going to change direction. They don't know which way we're going. So they need to rely on us. They need to look at us to figure out and get those kind of cheat codes as to figure out where we're going to move next.